Does this sound like a job for you? First of all, you work for free. That's right, no pay. It requires a willingness to perform hard manual labor. You can expect to endure everything the elements can throw at you. Biting wind, pouring rain, icy snow, and burning sun. And you're also expected to purchase your own uniform and often provide your own transportation to the job site. On top of all that, you'll probably be asked to work weekends. Whoa, what kind of a job is that? Well, over 200 people in our state think it's great, and they've got the enthusiasm and grins to prove it.
Tell them about the time we pounded posts all day long.
I've pounded a lot of posts into rock. That's been kind of fun. I've gone out on bighorn sheep siteability surveys. I've, radio collared pheasants. Worked with a lot of habitat, a lot of plantings, a lot of riparian zone changes for salmon habitat, planting willows, that kind of thing. I stock fish in mountain lakes every year. Just a whole variety of things. The amount of things available are tremendous. There's a lot of opportunity to do different things.
Ray Beffa is an Idaho Department of Fish and Game reservist. In his real life, he's an electrical engineer for Micron. But today, Ray has taken time off from his paying job to voluntarily get slimy.
A lot of people think it's really neat to come out and get slimed one day, but they don't like to come back very many days, so.
Ray and fellow reservist Elaine Rex don't seem to mind. In fact, fisheries biologist Steve Yunt says that without the volunteer help from reservists like these two folks, it would be pretty difficult to get the job done.
All right.
Today, they're at CJ Strike Reservoir in southwest Idaho, pulling fish nets and recording data for a research project on the trout population.
1,400. We planted, thus far this year, I think we've planted about 150,000, 125,000, 4 to 6 inch fish. And so we're just going to try and monitor their survival. Rainbow trout, HRB.
The slime. There's a few iffies in the perks of volunteering.
780.
In 1997, nearly 4,000 people volunteered over 88,000 hours to fish and game projects. But for some folks, simply volunteering isn't enough.
Okay, retie it.
The department has an extensive volunteer program, and reservists are volunteers, yet they're volunteers who want to do just a little bit more. So reservists get a little bit more training, they're screened a little bit more closely.
And required to donate at least 48 hours a year to wildlife. But for most of these reservists, that's an easy commitment to make.
A lot of people do 150 on up a year that do way far and above what is required. Everything ranging from fish management and a little bit of enforcement, wildlife, just a little bit of everything, and they just keep on coming back for more. They love what they're seeing. They love every weekend's different, and their experiences are something it's hard to fathom.
443, that's a nice largemouth.
Well, hold up.
Reservist Scott Prestel and his crew are helping out at a bass tournament on Lake Lowell near Nampa. The department is taking advantage of the fishermen's skills to record some data on the bass population of the lake.
510.
510, okay. And the weight?
2,050.
Dawn Ramos began volunteering about a year ago and loves it. In fact, she's becoming quite an advocate of the program and would like to see more women become involved.
You like the outdoors, and you're active. There's, hiking things you can do. We stock mountain lakes with fish, so you get to do a lot of interesting hiking and see some pretty country. And we do fence building, which sounds like a lot of hard work, but it's a lot of fun. And the people we work with are a blast to be with, and we get together for, dinners and parties and stuff. And there's just a lot of camaraderie involved.
It's right inside the gill cover.
The reservist training program prepares volunteers for some of the unusual tasks they'll be asked to perform. But other things, well, you just have to learn on the job. Like the best way to grab a wild turkey during a capture and transplant operation.
Go for it.
It's his first time.
And there's nothing like good old on-the-job experience to learn the intricacies involved in folding those special nets used in big game capture operations.
Well, I enjoy the work, getting out. I am retired and have to have something to do, and I enjoy working with wildlife and any projects that the Fish and Game has got to need some support and some help on.
You may have guessed that most of the reservists don't come into the program with these specific skills listed on their resumes, but they're all more than willing to give it a go. It's this degree of dedication that amazes Reservist Coordinator Bob Klein.
They feel like that this outdoor resource that we are so fortunate to have in the state of Idaho is theirs too, and they want to do something to maintain that, to leave it for future generations, and they're not afraid to put their time where their dedication is, and they will go out and do it, and I hope that, you know, they receive a sufficient reward for what they're doing. As I said, it's a win-win situation.
There's no doubt that for reservists Ray Beffa and Elaine Rex, the reward is in the giving.
For me now, it's more than what we do for the environment. It's more than what we do for the habitat, for the animals. It's the commitment and dedication of the people involved and the belief system that they have and what they care about that really inspires me to come out and do things with them.
Time well spent, yes, most definitely, most definitely.